Weather Kingdom. In this update, we are going to be taking a look at the tropics, also a potential monster coastal storm with major impacts. And when I mean major impacts. We got some interesting data here, a lot to discover, but I'm not going to be on here for that long, to be honest, maybe like 40 minutes or so. I have some other stuff to do, but I am here to talk about the tropics and the areas that we need to keep a watch. So welcome back, Weather Kingdom. If you are new to the channel, please like and subscribe as we are waiting for new people. Alright, so... Alright, let me just give everyone a second. Let me just quickly get this done. Hey, Semyar, what is up? What is up? Alright. Just waiting on a few people. What's up? Welcome, welcome. Alright, so welcome back, everybody. We are going to be taking a look at the Atlantic, as we got some interesting data going on. We got Tropical Storm Jerry. We got a potential... it's not really going to form at this point. It's pretty... so, it's pretty much done. It is a weak area of low pressure that has some tropical chances, very low. I don't see it on the models at all, to be honest with you. It's pretty much not going to happen. Pretty much is right here at low level. Center has just come off the Yucatan. Why is this not going to develop is because we just got too much shear and we got some dry air just keeping this from developing. So this 10% is really more like a 0% at this given time. There is very, very warm waters, but at the given time, it is just not enough. So, hey, Mia. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Alright, so I do want to talk a little bit about Jerry. I want to talk about the Lesser Antilles and the impacts to the Leeward Islands. So this is the satellite of Jerry pretty much right now. And pretty much we do have some issues going on here. So if you guys see, this is actually our true low-level center. And this actually is going west-northwest right now. It's actually not going. What's actually going west-southwest is more of this thunderstorms convection. You can see we had a nice blow-up of mid-level convection. That was before underneath the low-level center. But there is some things that's going to keep Jerry from honestly strengthening in the short term. And that's because of this wind shear. You guys see these showers and thunderstorms just getting blown off like this. That is completely de-shoveling the shear. And it is not doing good, actually. If you believe it or not, Jerry's right here. Yeah, we got cyclonic flow out here. But on this side of the low-level center, it is very limited. Okay? So that is one very big hinder to this all. But for the time being, I do think this will eventually become a hurricane, and I do believe so. When we take a look, honestly, right here, I'm a little concerned about the islands here. This is, you have to remember, this is right here at this given time, and these islands go like this. So this is going to have to make at least above 15 north to pass the islands. It is a little concerning that if Jerry does stay a little bit weaker in the short term instead of becoming Cat 5, it will actually feel less of that trough to the north and actually stay a little bit more west. So I do see a little bit more of a west. The latest track guidance, it is getting a little bit interesting here. Most of the forecast is generally like this here. It is going to go north of the islands and kind of sweep out like this. That's the National Hurricane Center's thinking. But there is quite a few models that bring it pretty far west, like these hurricane models, that actually keep it relatively weak, but it actually does make a very close impact. And for that being said, they did actually go with putting tropical storm watches out for the islands here. So when we take a look at the warnings and track, I just want to show you guys the track. They did put tropical storm watches. This is expected to go northwest, but honestly, you know, it says 65. I don't believe this will become a 65 mile an hour storm. I think this is going to take a little bit more of a west and weaker track, because they do think this will become a 90 miles an hour storm, getting relatively close to these islands. I honestly think I could see that get pushed a little bit more west and south, and then they do have this becoming a 100 mile an hour storm. And now, yeah, that is the latest thinking, is a 100 mile an hour storm, a Category 2 hurricane from the National Hurricane Center. The rainfall right now is generally in these islands, if you guys are in all these islands, 1 to 2 inches. In the northern, like Guadalupe, Barbuda, Sabada, Argula, St. Martin, USVI, Dominica, Guadalupe. You guys are expecting 2 to 4 inches of rain, and maybe even some localized 5-inch amounts. Alright, we got, Jerry's moving. Hey, Kenny Brown. Welcome back, Weather Kingdom. We got 20 people here watching. We kind of just taking a look at Jerry and the tropics generally right now. It's a tough call because I want to just go straight to hurricane models. This is the HURF model, generally sheared for tonight, and it will eventually maybe start strengthening by tomorrow night a little bit better and maybe become a stronger storm. But the HURF does have a getting really close to these islands, and believe it or not, it's a Category strong 1, maybe even almost a 2, and we are seeing outer bands hitting some of these islands on the HURF here. The HURF been very consistent on this potential act here, and it does have it rapidly intensifying, also getting extremely close. This is about 30 miles just from the islands here. Maybe 30 to 50 miles just to the northwest of the islands here. And this is potentially now a Category 2 hurricane, bringing tropical storm and even maybe hurricane gust winds in some of these outer bands here on the HURF model. I'm not saying this is going to bring some major impacts, but the chance is still there because this does rapidly intensify, and this eventually becomes a Cat 3, Cat 4 major hurricane. And then there it is, once again, Bermuda, in the realm of possibility of being attacked by another hurricane. They've been the target this year, and we'll have to continue to watch that. But my question is, how does it look? I mean, it's dismantled, sheared, but it does get its act together and does become a relatively big storm and does bring some impacts. When we take a look at the 10 millibar, the 10 winds here, this generally majority of the strong winds stay off the coast. Maybe some of these bands 40 to 50 miles an hour. And then those wind gusts, thankfully, actually, the wind gusts for this storm being sheared, this actually keeps most of the impacts off the coast here on the latest HRF. But this last run had a much stronger, look at the differences there. Pretty crazy on the HRF. It's been a little bit inconsistent with the strengths, and we'll have to continue. Alright, so when we take a look at the HMON here, the HMON generally shows this storm doing this. Alright, sorry about that. This is that HMON keeps it relatively weak and sheared, but it does have it making a landfall on these islands and bringing the core right into the islands, but it has it staying very weak and honestly becoming nothing in its future. So it is crazy that some of the models don't like it, but the HAFS actually now keeps it much stronger, keeps it weak, but it does actually impact the islands at least as a tropical storm and probably getting close to Puerto Rico, a Category 1 hurricane into some Puerto Rico islands. And then this actually does become a major hurricane and potentially even a Category 3 hurricane on the HAFS A. Okay, this is the HAFS speed. Relatively weak tropical storm, never get its act together and kind of stays dead. So some of the hurricane models are picking up on, Jerry might struggle a little bit more than we think. And the one model actually that done that was the European model. I mean, it still shows it's going to miss the islands, but it does become a relatively strong hurricane. And yeah, that's pretty much it on the Euro. GFS has Jerry becoming a relatively Category 2, maybe into a Category 2, and that's it. Then it's going to die off in the Atlantic and do its own little thing here. Okay? So Jerry might become a strong hurricane, but my thing is, right now it's dealing with some shear, and it's going to keep my forecast a little bit for understanding. If you guys are new to the channel, please like and subscribe. Also, this is the shear. I want to show you guys the shear on this. Yeah. That's what I don't like about it. The hurricane models, for some reason, the models don't show the shear. But there it is. The shear is coming out like this right now. It's really clear. Oh, wait. I mean, my bad. Actually, the shear is actually lighting up. Actually, quite a bit. Yeah, the shear is actually coming out like this. Yeah, the shear is a little bit less. So the shear is a little bit less than the last time I checked. I didn't see that. But it does say that this storm will have a... Wow, look at that. Very good cyclonic flow out of it. Dry air is nowhere to be found. This is a little bit, but it's relatively weak. Look at that. Yeah. So I do want to talk about a potential another area. So this is actually a bit of an interesting talk here. I'm actually going to show you the AccuWeather. I'm going to now change it from Jerry. We're going to be taking a look at the Northeast. Believe it or not, we're taking a look at the East Coast. A massive potential bomb cyclone nor'easter, a hybrid. So when we take a look at the Northeast, sorry about that. Just give me a second. So basically, tropical development is possible. This is a very potential storm. This could actually be a big coastal impact. Storm may stall near the Carolinas coast. So this is a potential, like, I don't want to say sandy because it's not going to be like sandy. But this could actually be a landfalling blockbuster nor'easter like we see in the winter. And basically, there's some interesting thing. Potentially slow moving 30 to 60 mile an hour on coastal gust. And king tides. Ongoing king tides. It is very interesting about this. But